Hi and welcome to Apex Atlas. Vietnam unfolds slowly, like a story told over many cups of coffee. It is a country of contrasts and continuity, where ancient traditions sit comfortably beside fast-moving cities and where landscapes shift dramatically from misty mountains to fertile river deltas. From the moment you arrive, Vietnam feels alive. Scooters hum through narrow streets, markets spill color and sound into every corner, and food is prepared with care and pride at all hours of the day. Life here is outward-facing and communal, shaped by family, memory, and a deep connection to land and water. Geographically long and diverse, Vietnam offers remarkable variety. In the north, limestone mountains rise above rice terraces and quiet villages. Central Vietnam blends historic towns, imperial cities, and golden coastlines. In the south, the Mekong Delta spreads wide and slow, its waterways sustaining millions of lives. Each region carries its own rhythm, accent, and identity. Vietnam's history is complex and resilient. Centuries of dynasties, colonial influence, conflict, and renewal have shaped a national character defined by endurance and adaptability. This past is visible not only in museums and monuments, but in daily customs, architecture, and storytelling passed between generations. Yet Vietnam is not defined by history alone. It is youthful, creative, and forward-looking. Cafes double as social hubs, contemporary art thrives alongside traditional crafts, and innovation blends naturally with heritage. Visitors often find themselves welcomed not as outsiders, but as participants, invited to sit, eat, talk, and observe. Vietnam rewards those who travel with curiosity rather than haste. It is a place where small moments matter, a shared meal on a plastic stool, a quiet walk through a temple courtyard, or sunrise over a river wrapped in mist. These experiences linger, forming a deeper understanding of a country that reveals itself gently. Locations and borders. Vietnam stretches like a ribbon along the eastern edge of Southeast Asia, its shape defining both its character and its journey. Long and narrow, the country runs from the cool highlands near China in the north to the tropical waterways of the Mekong Delta in the south, creating a natural progression of landscapes, climates, and cultures. To the north, Vietnam shares its border with China, where misty mountains and terraced hills roll gently into one another. This region feels quiet and remote, shaped by highland communities, winding roads, and cooler air. The border here is less a hard line and more a gradual shift in scenery and tradition. Along the western edge, Vietnam meets Laos and Cambodia. These borders trace forested mountains, river valleys, and rural provinces where life moves at a slower pace. Villages here are closely tied to the land, and cultural influences blend subtly across boundaries through shared food, language tones, and customs. To the east and south, Vietnam opens fully to the sea. Its long coastline faces the South China Sea, shaping everything from cuisine to trade and daily rhythm. Fishing villages, beach towns, and port cities line the shore, and the ocean has long connected Vietnam to the wider world. At the southern end, the Mekong Delta fans out toward Cambodia and the sea, a maze of rivers, canals, and floating life. Here, borders are defined more by water than by land, and movement feels fluid, boats drifting between communities, markets, and fields. Vietnam's position has always made it a crossroads. Influences have arrived by land and sea, sometimes peacefully, sometimes forcefully, but always leaving a mark. Today, these borders frame a country that feels both connected and distinct, shaped by its neighbors yet confident in its own identity. Traveling through Vietnam from end to end is not just a change in scenery, it's a journey through accents, flavors, traditions, and ways of life, all held together by geography and shared history. Landscapes and regions. Vietnam's landscapes unfold like chapters in a long, winding journey, each region distinct in mood and texture, yet connected by rivers, roads, and shared rhythms of life. Traveling through the country reveals not one Vietnam, but many. In the north, mountains dominate the horizon. Around Sapa and the Hoa Nguyen Range, steep valleys are carved into layered rice terraces that glow green in summer and gold at harvest. Morning mist drifts between peaks, villages cling to hillsides, and life follows the pace of the land. This region feels introspective and grounded, shaped by highland cultures and cooler air. Moving east, the landscape opens into dramatic limestone scenery. Towering casts rise from water and forest, most famously in Ha Long Bay, where islands scatter across the sea like stone sentinels. Caves, cliffs, and hidden lagoons create a sense of mystery, a place where land and water blur into something almost mythical. Central Vietnam forms a narrow waste between mountains and sea. Here, fertile plains sit alongside historic towns, imperial cities, and long sandy beaches. The Annamite Mountains run close to the coast, creating a region where jungles, rivers, and shoreline exist in close harmony. Typhoons and monsoon rains shape both architecture and lifestyle, fostering resilience and adaptability. In the south, the land softens. The Mekong Delta spreads outward in a vast network of waterways, fields, and floating communities. Life here is inseparable from water. Boats replace roads, markets drift, and homes face canals rather than streets. The delta feels open, generous, and abundant, reflecting its role as Vietnam's agricultural heart. Between these major regions lie national parks, caves, high plateaus, and forested reserves. From underground river systems to coffee-growing highlands, Vietnam's interior adds depth and surprise to the journey. What makes Vietnam's regions so compelling is not just their beauty, but how closely landscape and culture are intertwined. Each place shapes how people live, eat, build, and celebrate. To travel through Vietnam is to feel these shifts gradually, a change in accent, a new flavor, a different horizon, all part of a single unfolding story. Climate and seasons. Vietnam's climate follows its long, slender shape, shifting gently as you travel from north to south. Rather than a single weather pattern, the country experiences a series of overlapping seasons, each shaping landscapes, festivals, and daily life in different ways. In the north, seasons are more defined. Winters can be cool and misty, especially in the mountains, where temperatures drop and fog settles over valleys. Spring arrives softly, bringing blossoms and mild air, while summer is warm and humid, marked by heavy but often brief rain showers. Autumn is widely considered the most pleasant time, with clear skies and comfortable temperatures. Central Vietnam experiences a different rhythm. Summers are hot and bright, ideal for beaches and coastal travel, while autumn brings the risk of typhoons and heavier rainfall. These storms shape local architecture and habits. Homes are built sturdy, schedules flexible, and communities resilient. When the skies clear, the light along the coast is especially striking. In the south, the climate is tropical and steady. Rather than four seasons, there are two main ones, dry and rainy. The dry season brings warm days and blue skies, while the rainy season delivers dramatic afternoon downpours that refresh the landscape without usually lasting all day. Life continues easily between showers, and the rain is often welcomed. Across the country, monsoon rains play an essential role. They feed rice fields, rivers, and forests, sustaining the agricultural heart of Vietnam. These seasonal changes shape not just scenery, but sound and scent: rain on tin roofs, damp earth after storm, steam rising from streets. The best time to visit Vietnam depends on where you go and what you seek. Yet every season has its rewards. Misty mornings, lush green hills, golden harvests, and glowing sunsets all arrive in their own time. Vietnam teaches patience with weather. Plans adapt, rhythms slow or quicken, and travelers learn that climate here is not an obstacle, but part of the experience, guiding when to rest, explore, and simply observe. Wildlife and biodiversity. Vietnam is one of Southeast Asia's most biologically rich countries, a place where mountains, forests, rivers, and seas create layered habitats filled with rare and remarkable life. Much of this diversity remains hidden, thriving quietly beyond cities and farmland, protected by remoteness and tradition. In the northern and central forests, dense jungle shelters a surprising range of species. Langurs, macaques, and gibbons move through the canopy, their calls echoing across valleys at dawn. Some primates found here exist nowhere else on Earth, adapted to limestone cliffs and isolated habitats that have shaped their evolution over thousands of years. Deeper in protected areas, elusive mammals such as civets, pangolins, and wild cats live largely unseen. While encounters are rare, their presence reflects the health and depth of Vietnam's ecosystems. Conservation efforts continue to protect these species as pressure from development and poaching grows. Vietnam's birdlife is especially rich. Wetlands, deltas, and forests attract resident and migratory birds alike, from kingfishers and herons along waterways to colorful pheasants and hornbills in upland forests. Early mornings often bring the greatest reward, when birdsong fills the air before the day's heat settles in. Rivers and wetlands support freshwater fish, amphibians, and reptiles that play a vital role in rural life and agriculture. In the Mekong Delta, biodiversity is inseparable from daily living. Fish farms, floating plants, and bird life exist alongside homes and markets in a carefully balanced system. Off the coast, marine ecosystems flourish. Coral reefs support vibrant fish populations, while seagrass beds provide habitat for turtles and other marine species. These underwater worlds add another dimension to Vietnam's natural richness, particularly in calmer southern waters. Vietnam's biodiversity is not confined to national parks. It appears in village gardens, rice paddies, and roadside trees, a reminder that nature here is closely woven into human life. Protecting this balance is an ongoing challenge, but awareness and conservation are steadily growing. To experience Vietnam's wildlife is to understand its quiet resilience, life adapting, enduring, and thriving across varied landscapes shaped by both nature and people. Natural wonders. Vietnam's natural wonders feel almost storybook in scale and atmosphere. Landscapes shaped by water, time, and quiet persistence. These places are not only visually striking, but deeply tied to the country's sense of identity and awe. Rising from emerald waters, Ha Long Bay is Vietnam's most iconic natural wonder. Thousands of limestone casts emerge from the sea, their shapes softened by mist and legend. Cruising through the bay at dawn or dusk feels timeless, as light shifts across stone and water in near silence. Beneath central Vietnam lies another world entirely. Phong Nha Cu Bang National Park protects one of the planet's greatest cave systems, including vast underground rivers and cathedral-sized chambers. Entering these caves is like stepping into the Earth's memory, cool, echoing, and humbling in scale. On the northern border with China, Ban Geosi de Tian falls thunder across terraced rock in wide, cascading tiers. Surrounded by rice fields and limestone hills, the falls feel both powerful and serene, especially in the rainy season when water surges across the landscape. Inland, the karst landscapes of Trang and blend rivers, caves, and temples into a setting often described as Ha Long Bay on land. Boats glide silently through tunnels and valleys, revealing a landscape shaped as much by water as by myth. Off the southern coast, the Con Dao Islands offer a different kind of wonder. Here, jungle-covered hills meet clear seas and coral reefs, creating a sense of remoteness and reflection. Once isolated, the islands now stand as symbols of both natural beauty and historical memory. Vietnam's natural wonders are not isolated spectacles. They exist within living landscapes, worked fields, fishing villages, sacred sites, reminding travelers that beauty here is part of everyday life, not separate from it. To witness these places is to feel the scale of time and nature at work, shaping Vietnam patiently, layer by layer. National parks and reserves. Vietnam's national parks are places where nature is given space to breathe, protected landscapes that safeguard forests, rivers, mountains, and the quiet lives within them. Visiting these areas offers a slower, more immersive way to understand the country beyond its cities and coastlines. In central Vietnam, Phong Nha Cu Bang National Park stands as one of Southeast Asia's most important conservation areas. Above ground, dense jungle and limestone hills shelter rare wildlife. Below ground, vast cave systems stretch for hundreds of kilometers. Trails, river journeys, and guided cave visits reveal a landscape still largely untouched. North of Hanoi, Cuc Phuong National Park is Vietnam's oldest national park. Its ancient forest feels primeval, with towering trees, hidden caves, and moss-covered paths. The park also plays a vital role in conservation, hosting rescue centers for endangered primates and reptiles. In the Central Highlands, Yok Don National Park protects one of the country's last remaining dry forests. This region has a different character: open woodland, wide rivers, and a deep connection to indigenous cultures. Traditional knowledge and conservation efforts here increasingly work hand in hand. Further south, Cat Tien National Park offers accessible rainforest close to major cities. Its wetlands and riverbanks support rich birdlife, reptiles, and nocturnal mammals. Cycling paths and gentle hikes make it ideal for travelers seeking nature without extreme terrain. In the north, Bab National Park centers around a vast freshwater lake surrounded by forested limestone peaks. Boats glide across still water, villages sit quietly along the shore, and mist drifts through the valleys at dawn. It's a place of calm, best experienced slowly. Vietnam's protected areas are not isolated wildernesses. People live alongside them, farming, fishing, and passing down traditions shaped by the land. Conservation here is as much about community as it is about ecology. Exploring Vietnam's national parks invites a different pace of travel. These are places to listen, observe, and reconnect with landscapes that have shaped the country for centuries. Mountains and hiking routes. Vietnam's mountains invite slow travel, paths that wind through terraces, forests, and villages where the landscape shapes daily life. Hiking here is as much about connection as challenge, blending scenery with culture at every step. In the far north, the Hoang Lien Range rises dramatically above misty valleys. Trails around Sapa trace rice terraces carved by hand over generations, passing wooden homes and fields where work continues as it has for centuries. The air is cool, the views layered, and each bend in the path reveals another quiet moment of mountain life. At the heart of the range stands Phansapan, often called the roof of Indochinese. Reaching its summit is a rite of passage, whether by multi-day trek through forest and cloud, or by cable car for those seeking the view without the climb. From the top, the mountains stretch endlessly, a reminder of Vietnam's hidden height. Further east, the Ha Giong region offers raw, rugged beauty. Narrow roads and footpaths cut through limestone peaks and deep valleys, where ethnic minority communities farm steep slopes. Hiking here feels remote and immersive, with fewer crowds and a strong sense of place. In central Vietnam, trails through Pu Long Nature Reserve and Bac Ma National Park offer a different experience. Dense jungle, waterfalls, and panoramic ridgelines replace terraces, and hikes are shaded, humid, and rich with bird life. These routes suit travelers seeking nature and solitude rather than altitude. Vietnam's mountains are not extreme by global standards, but they reward patience and curiosity. Trails may be uneven, weather can shift quickly, and progress is often unhurried, yet the journey feels deeply personal. Conversations, shared meals, and simple guest houses become part of the route. To hike in Vietnam is to move through living landscapes. Each step connects land, culture, and time, making the mountains feel less like obstacles and more like guides. Rivers and lakes. Water shapes Vietnam's rhythm. Rivers carve valleys, feed rice fields, and carry stories from mountain to sea, while lakes offer stillness in a country often defined by movement. To follow Vietnam's waterways is to understand how life flows here. In the south, the Mekong spreads wide and patient, dividing into countless channels as it approaches the sea. Villages face the water, markets float at dawn, and boats replace streets. Life in the delta moves with the river's rise and fall, generous, fertile, and communal. The Red River anchors the north, winding through Hanoi before spilling into a broad delta. Historically, it has nourished agriculture and trade, while its seasonal floods have demanded ingenuity and resilience. Today, riverbanks host parks, cafes, and quiet paths where city life slows beside the current. In central Vietnam, rivers take on a gentler, more reflective character. The Perfume River glides past temples and pagodas in hue, its surface catching lantern light at night. These waterways feel ceremonial, framing historic cities and moments of calm. Vietnam's lakes offer a different mood. In the north, Bab Lake lies cradled by forested limestone hills, its glassy surface broken only by oars and birdsong. It feels remote and timeless, best experienced slowly, with mornings wrapped in mist. Smaller rivers thread through karst landscapes in places like Ninh Binh, where boats drift beneath cliffs and through caves. Here, water becomes a passage, quiet, intimate, and immersive, revealing landscapes that feel both ancient and alive. Across Vietnam, rivers, and lakes are not boundaries, they are lifelines. They irrigate fields, inspire art, shape belief, and invite travelers to pause. Whether wide and powerful or narrow and still, these waters reflect a country in constant motion, grounded by flow, caving, and underground worlds. Beneath Vietnam's forests and mountains lies a hidden realm, vast, silent, and shaped over millions of years. Caving here is not just an adventure activity, it is an encounter with the Earth's deep history, revealed chamber by chamber in darkness and echo. The heart of this underground world is Phong Nha Cu Bang National Park, home to one of the most extensive cave networks on the planet. Limestone mountains conceal rivers that disappear underground, re-emerging miles away, having carved cathedrals of stone along the way. Among these wonders is Sun Doong Cave, the largest cave in the world by volume. Entering Sun Doong feels otherworldly. Jungles grow beneath collapsed ceilings, clouds form inside vast chambers, and rivers flow where sunlight barely reaches. Access is strictly limited, preserving both its fragility and its magic. More accessible but no less impressive, Paradise Cave stretches for kilometers beneath the forest floor. Walkways guide visitors through glittering stalactites and soaring chambers, offering a sense of scale that is both humbling and serene. For those seeking hands-on exploration, caves like Dark Cave add an element of play and challenge. Wading through underground rivers, climbing slick rock, and emerging coated in mineral-rich mud turns exploration into a physical, immersive experience. Beyond Phong Nha, smaller cave systems dot the country, from limestone casts in the north to coastal caves shaped by sea and wind. Many remain lightly explored, known mainly to local communities and researchers, reminding visitors how much of Vietnam's underground world is still undiscovered. Caving in Vietnam requires respect for safety, for conservation, and for the delicate balance that keeps these spaces intact. Guided tours ensure protection of both travelers and terrain, allowing access without harm. To step underground in Vietnam is to leave the familiar world behind. In the silence of stone and water, time stretches, perspective shifts, and the country reveals one of its most extraordinary secrets: festivals and celebrations. Festivals in Vietnam are moments when everyday life pauses and meaning takes center stage. Rooted in family, seasons, and belief, celebrations here are less about spectacle alone and more about connection to ancestors, community, and the passing of time. The most important celebration of all is Tet, the Lunar New Year. In the days leading up to it, cities empty as families return to their hometowns. Homes are cleaned, altars refreshed, and food prepared with care. Streets bloom with peach blossoms in the north and yellow apricot flowers in the south, symbols of renewal and good fortune. Tet is intimate and reflective, a time for gratitude, remembrance, and hope. Throughout the year, regional festivals mark local identity. In central Vietnam, imperial traditions are revived through performances, parades, and ceremonies that honor historic capitals and royal heritage. These events blend music, costume, and ritual, bringing history into the present. In towns and villages, festivals often follow the agricultural calendar. Harvest celebrations give thanks for abundance, while river festivals honor water's life-giving role. Boat races, offerings, and communal meals reflect how closely celebration and survival are intertwined. The Mid-Autumn Festival carries a gentler tone. Celebrated especially by children, it fills evenings with lanterns, lion dances, and mooncakes shared under the full moon. Streets glow softly, and the pace slows, turning the night into a shared moment of joy. Spiritual celebrations are equally important. Buddhist festivals draw people to pagodas with incense, prayer, and quiet reflection, while ancestor remembrance days reinforce respect for family lineage and continuity. These moments are personal yet collective, binding communities through shared values. Even modern Vietnam celebrates with tradition close at hand. Weddings, anniversaries, and milestones follow rituals passed down through generations, adapted to contemporary life but never fully replaced. To experience a festival in Vietnam is to witness the country's emotional core. These celebrations reveal what matters most: family, memory, balance, and belonging, expressed not loudly, but sincerely. Food and drink. Food in Vietnam is a daily ritual, a social bond, and a quiet art form. Meals are rarely rushed, even when eaten on tiny stools beside busy streets. Balance is everything: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and fresh flavors working together in harmony. At the heart of Vietnamese cuisine is freshness. Herbs are not garnish but foundation. Mint, basil, coriander, and perilla are added by hand, leaf by leaf. Meals arrive with plates of greens to tear, dip, and share, allowing each person to shape flavor to taste. Across the country, street food defines everyday eating. Bowls of faux steam at dawn, their broth simmered for hours. Crispy banh mi are assembled in seconds, crusty bread filled with herbs, pickles, and savory fillings. On sidewalks, grills sizzle late into the night, filling the air with smoke and spice. Regional differences are subtle but meaningful. Northern dishes tend to be lighter and less sweet, reflecting cooler climates and restraint. Central Vietnam favors bold flavors and smaller portions, often influenced by royal cuisine. In the south, food becomes sweeter and more generous, shaped by fertile land and tropical abundance. Rice is the constant companion, steamed, fried, wrapped, or transformed into noodles and paper-thin sheets. Fish sauce anchors flavor quietly in the background, adding depth rather than dominance. Meals are shared, placed at the center, encouraging conversation as much as nourishment. Drinking culture is equally rooted in rhythm. Vietnamese coffee is slow and strong, brewed through a metal filter that drips patiently into the cup. Served hot or poured over ice with condensed milk, it turns pause into pleasure. Tea, offered everywhere, signals welcome rather than ceremony. Food in Vietnam is not about indulgence alone. It reflects care for ingredients, for balance, for the people gathered around the table. Eating here becomes a way of understanding the country, attentive, generous, and deeply human. Arts and music. Vietnam's arts and music are expressions of continuity, creative forms shaped by ritual, storytelling, and everyday life, carried gently from generation to generation. They reflect a culture that values harmony, symbolism, and emotional restraint over spectacle. Traditional music often feels intimate and reflective. Instruments such as the dan bor, single-string zither, and dan tran, plucked zither, produce sounds that bend and linger, echoing landscapes of rivers, fields, and mountains. Performances are often small-scale, designed for close listening rather than grand stages, where silence is as important as sound. One of Vietnam's most distinctive art forms is water puppetry, which originated in rural villages of the Red River Delta. Puppets dance across the surface of shallow water, telling folk stories, legends, and scenes of village life. Accompanied by live music and narration, these performances are playful yet deeply rooted in agricultural tradition. Visual arts balance tradition and adaptation. Silk painting, lacquerware, and woodblock prints draw on natural materials and symbolic imagery. Lotus flowers, landscapes, and everyday scenes rendered with restraint and grace. These works often feel meditative, inviting viewers to pause rather than interpret. In modern cities, contemporary art thrives quietly. Galleries and studios explore themes of memory, identity, and change, reflecting Vietnam's rapid transformation. Artists blend traditional techniques with modern expression, creating work that speaks both locally and globally. Craft and performance often overlap. Calligraphy is practiced as both writing and art, while costume and movement play vital roles in dance and theater. The Ao Dai, Vietnam's iconic dress, appears frequently in performances, its flowing lines becoming part of the visual rhythm. Music and art in Vietnam are rarely separated from daily life. They appear at festivals, ceremonies, family gatherings, and community events, not as formal displays, but as shared cultural language. To experience Vietnam's arts is to listen closely. Meaning is often subtle, emotions understated, and beauty found in balance rather than excess. These creative traditions reveal a culture that values depth, continuity, and quiet expression. Clothing and fashion. Clothing in Vietnam reflects both tradition and transition. Garments shaped by climate, culture, and history, now reinterpreted through modern life. Fashion here is practical, symbolic, and quietly expressive, evolving without losing its roots. The most recognizable symbol of Vietnamese dress is the Ao Dai. Elegant and flowing, it combines a long tunic with trousers, designed to move gracefully while remaining modest. Once everyday wear, the Ao Dai is now most often seen at celebrations, ceremonies, schools, and cultural events. Its many variations, from classic white to richly embroidered silk, express both individuality and respect for tradition. In daily life, clothing is shaped by climate and mobility. Lightweight fabrics dominate, suited to heat and humidity, while looser cuts allow comfort in busy streets and rural work alike. Urban fashion in cities such as Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City is modern and youthful, influenced by global trends yet adapted to local sensibilities. Among Vietnam's ethnic minority communities, traditional dress remains a strong marker of identity. In the northern highlands, groups such as the Hong and Dao wear hand-dyed indigo fabrics, intricate embroidery, and silver adornments. These garments are not merely decorative. Patterns and colors communicate age, status, and heritage, passed down through generations. Accessories also tell stories. The Non La, Vietnam's iconic conical hat, is both functional and symbolic, offering protection from sun and rain while remaining a quiet emblem of rural life. Scarves, sandals, and woven bags further reflect regional craft and practicality. Modern Vietnamese designers increasingly draw inspiration from traditional forms, reworking silhouettes, fabrics, and motifs for contemporary audiences. This blending of old and new mirrors the country itself, respectful of history, yet confidently forward-looking. Clothing in Vietnam is not about excess or display. It is about balance, comfort and elegance, tradition and innovation, individuality and belonging. What people wear tells a story of place, climate, and continuity, one stitched carefully into daily life. Language and literature. Language in Vietnam carries memory. It holds the weight of history, the poetry of the countryside, and the everyday humor of street conversations. To listen closely is to hear a culture shaped by rhythm, respect, and resilience. The Vietnamese language, Tiếng Việt, is tonal and melodic, where meaning shifts with pitch and inflection. To unfamiliar ears, it can sound musical, almost sung, reflecting the country's long oral tradition. Though challenging at first, even a few words spoken by visitors are warmly received. Language here is a bridge, not a barrier. Vietnamese is written using the Latin alphabet, introduced centuries ago and adapted with diacritics to capture tones and sounds. This makes reading signs easier for travelers, even if pronunciation takes practice. Older scripts, such as Chu Nom, once used to write classical Vietnamese, remain important in historical texts and calligraphy. Literature has long been a vessel for Vietnamese identity. Poetry, in particular, holds a special place. Verses were historically memorized, shared aloud, and used to express philosophy, love, grief, and resistance. Even today, poetry feels close to daily life, quoted in conversation, displayed in homes, and taught early in schools. Classic works often draw from nature. Rivers, mountains, rain, and moonlight become metaphors for endurance and emotion. These images reflect a worldview shaped by land and seasons, where personal feeling and landscape are deeply connected. In modern times, Vietnamese writers explore themes of memory, war, migration, and change. Contemporary literature reflects a country negotiating tradition and modernity, often with quiet introspection rather than confrontation. Memoirs, novels, and short stories reveal personal histories that mirror national experience. The Temple of Literature in Hanoi stands as a symbol of learning and scholarship, honoring centuries of education and intellectual life. It reminds visitors that knowledge, words, and reflection have always been central to Vietnamese society. Language and literature in Vietnam are not distant or academic. They are lived, spoken in markets, written in notebooks, remembered in poems, and passed between generations. They offer insight not just into how Vietnamese people speak, but how they think and feel. Religion and spiritual life. Spiritual life in Vietnam is woven quietly into everyday routines. Rather than strict divisions between belief systems, faith here is fluid, layered, personal, and deeply rooted in respect for family, ancestors, and balance with the natural world. At the heart of Vietnamese spirituality is ancestor veneration. In homes across the country, small altars hold photographs, incense, and offerings of fruit or tea. These spaces are not solemn or distant, they are part of daily life. Honoring ancestors is a way of maintaining continuity, acknowledging that the past remains present in guidance, memory, and protection. Buddhism has a visible and calming presence. Pagodas sit peacefully in cities, villages, mountains, and along rivers, their curved roofs and incense-filled courtyards offering spaces for reflection. Many Vietnamese visit pagodas not only for formal worship, but to seek balance, good fortune, or quiet moments away from daily demands. Spiritual practice here is gentle rather than rigid, focused on harmony and compassion. Confucian values shape moral and social life, particularly ideas of respect, education, and family responsibility. These principles influence behavior more than formal religious observance, guiding relationships between generations and within communities. Vietnam is also home to unique spiritual movements, such as Cao Dai, which blends elements of Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, Christianity, and Islam. Colorful temples and inclusive philosophy reflect Vietnam's ability to adapt belief systems into something distinctly its own. Throughout the year, pilgrimages draw people to sacred landscapes. Journeys to mountain temples, caves, and rivers combine physical travel with spiritual intention. The Perfume Pagoda, reached by boat and foot, is one such journey, less about arrival, more about the act of moving with purpose. Religion in Vietnam is rarely loud or confrontational. It appears in gestures, lighting incense, pausing before an altar, offering food to unseen ancestors. These moments ground daily life, offering continuity in a rapidly changing world. Vietnam's spiritual life teaches balance between past and present, visible and unseen, effort and acceptance. For travelers, observing these practices offers insight into the country's inner rhythm, where belief is lived quietly and meaningfully. Customs and etiquette. Vietnamese etiquette is shaped by respect, subtlety, and an awareness of others. Much of what matters is unspoken, a gentle tone, a patient pause, or knowing when to step back. Understanding these customs helps travelers move comfortably and build genuine connections. Greetings are warm but modest. A smile and a slight nod are common, especially when meeting elders or strangers. Handshakes are increasingly used in cities and business settings, but they tend to be light and brief. Titles and family names are valued, reflecting the importance of age and social roles. Respect for elders sits at the heart of social life. Older people are addressed first, offered seats, and listened to carefully. In family settings, age often determines order, who speaks, eats, or is served first. Observing this hierarchy is seen as polite rather than restrictive. When visiting a home or temple, removing shoes is expected. This simple gesture shows respect for the space and those who inhabit it. In religious places, modest clothing is appreciated, and quiet behavior is expected. Photography should be discreet, especially during prayer. At the table, meals are shared. Dishes are placed centrally, and everyone helps themselves. It's polite to wait for others before eating and to try a little of everything. Finishing all the food on your plate is not always expected. Leaving a small amount can signal that you were satisfied. Public behavior is generally restrained. Loud voices, overt displays of frustration, or public confrontation are avoided. If a disagreement arises, it is often handled indirectly to preserve harmony and dignity. Patience and calm are valued far more than assertiveness. In markets and small shops, bargaining is common and expected. It is best approached with humor and friendliness rather than pressure. A smile and light conversation matter as much as the final price. Gift giving follows similar principles. Small, thoughtful gifts are appreciated, especially when visiting a home. Items are usually offered and received with both hands, a sign of respect and sincerity. Vietnamese etiquette is less about memorizing rules and more about attitude. Politeness, humility, and attentiveness go a long way. When visitors show genuine respect, they are met with warmth, patience, and generosity. Sports and leisure. Leisure in Vietnam is woven gently into everyday life. Rather than structured schedules or grand facilities, recreation often unfolds organically, in parks at dawn, on streets at dusk, and wherever people find space to move, gather, and breathe. Football is the nation's great passion. Matches draw families, friends, and strangers together, whether watched in stadiums, cafes, or on street corners. When the national team plays, cities come alive with flags, horns, and spontaneous celebrations. Football here is less about competition and more about shared emotion and pride. Early mornings reveal a quieter side of leisure. In parks and open spaces, people practice Tai Chi and group exercises, moving slowly in unison as the sun rises. These routines reflect a focus on balance and well-being, blending physical movement with mindfulness and social connection. Along rivers and coastal regions, water-based activities shape local leisure. Dragon boat racing, rooted in tradition, combines teamwork and spectacle, often tied to festivals. In daily life, swimming, fishing, and boating remain common, especially in rural areas where water is central to survival and culture. Vietnam's varied landscapes invite outdoor recreation. Hiking, cycling, and countryside walks are popular ways to explore mountains, rice fields, and villages. These activities are rarely rushed. The journey matters as much as the destination, and pauses for conversation or tea are part of the experience. In towns and neighborhoods, informal games unfold naturally. Badminton, shuttlecock kicking, and simple ball games appear in alleyways and courtyards, bringing generations together. These moments highlight how leisure here is inclusive and social rather than performance-driven. Modern leisure is evolving too. Gyms, climbing centers, and organized sports clubs are increasingly common in cities, reflecting changing lifestyles while coexisting with traditional habits. Sports and leisure in Vietnam are not about escape from daily life, they are an extension of it. Movement, play, and shared moments reinforce community and balance, offering insight into how Vietnamese people value health, connection, and simple joy. Ancient origins. Vietnam's story begins long before written history, shaped by rivers, fertile plains, and communities learning to live in rhythm with the land. These ancient origins still echo today, in patterns, beliefs, and a deep respect for continuity. Early societies formed around the Red River Delta, where seasonal flooding enriched the soil and encouraged settled agriculture. Rice cultivation became central to survival and culture, laying the foundation for communal life and cooperation. Villages grew close-knit, bound by shared labor, ritual, and ancestry, values that remain central in Vietnamese society. One of the most important early cultures was the Dong Son culture, known for its remarkable bronze craftsmanship. The iconic bronze drums they created were both practical and symbolic, used in ceremonies, warfare, and communication. Decorated with scenes of daily life, animals, and ritual, these drums offer a vivid glimpse into how early Vietnamese people saw their world. Legend and history intertwine in Vietnam's early narrative. Stories of the Hung kings, believed to have ruled the ancient kingdom of Van Lang, are passed down through generations. While mythic in tone, these tales reinforce themes of unity, origin, and rightful connection to the land. Annual commemorations still honor these ancestral figures, linking modern Vietnam to its earliest roots. Further south, ancient civilizations developed along the coast and highlands, engaging in trade across Southeast Asia. These early networks brought new ideas, technologies, and beliefs, shaping a region that was outward-looking even in antiquity. Archaeological sites, temple ruins, and artifacts reveal a society that balanced practicality with symbolism. Nature was not something to dominate, but something to live alongside. Rivers were revered, mountains respected, and ancestors remembered as guardians rather than distant figures. Vietnam's ancient origins are not confined to museums. They live on in village layouts, seasonal festivals, farming rituals, and the enduring importance of family lineage. The past here is not forgotten. It is carried forward, quietly shaping identity across centuries. Kingdoms and empires. Vietnam's history of kingdoms and empires is a story of resilience, of small states navigating powerful neighbors, adapting governance, and forging a strong cultural identity that endured through centuries of change. After the era of early cultures, organized states began to emerge in northern Vietnam. The region became closely linked to larger empires to the north, particularly China, whose political systems, philosophy, and written traditions left lasting influence. Yet even during long periods of external rule, local customs, language, and communal structures persisted beneath the surface. By the early medieval period, independent Vietnamese dynasties asserted control. The Dai Viet Kingdom marked a turning point, establishing a distinctly Vietnamese state centered around the Red River Delta. Dynasties such as the Lai, Tran, and La strengthened administration, promoted Confucian education, and defended territory against repeated invasions. The Lai dynasty oversaw the founding of Thang Long, modern Hanoi, as the imperial capital. The city became a center of scholarship, governance, and culture, symbolizing a confident and independent nation. Temples, pagodas, and citadels from this era reflect a blend of imported ideas and local expression. Further south, the Champa civilization flourished along the central coast. Champa was outward-looking and maritime, deeply connected to Indian culture, Hinduism, and trade routes across Southeast Asia. The ruins of Mai Son Sanctuary remain one of the clearest expressions of this legacy. As Vietnamese kingdoms expanded southward in a gradual process known as Nam Tien, borders shifted and cultures intertwined. This expansion reshaped the country's geography and identity, absorbing new lands while integrating diverse traditions. By the early modern period, imperial authority centered on Hue, where the Nguyen dynasty ruled from fortified citadels and formal court life. The imperial city's architecture and layout still reflect a worldview ordered by hierarchy, harmony, and cosmic balance. Vietnam's kingdoms never sought vast overseas empires. Instead, their strength lay in endurance, adapting governance, resisting domination, and cultivating a sense of nationhood rooted in land, family, and continuity. Colonial and foreign influence. Vietnam's identity has been shaped by centuries of contact with the wider world. Traders, missionaries, administrators, and armies arrived by land and sea, each leaving traces that were absorbed, adapted, or resisted. Rather than erasing what came before, these encounters layered Vietnam's culture with new forms and ideas. For much of its early history, Vietnam lived in the shadow of powerful neighbors to the north. Chinese administration introduced systems of governance, Confucian education, and literary traditions. Yet local customs endured, and Vietnamese society selectively adopted what served it best while preserving language, village life, and ancestral practices. From the 16th century onward, Vietnam became part of global maritime trade networks. Ports like Hoi An welcomed merchants from Japan, China, India, and Europe. This exchange brought architectural styles, religious ideas, and commercial practices that blended seamlessly with local traditions, giving coastal towns a distinctly cosmopolitan feel. The most visible foreign imprint arrived during the French colonial period. Cities such as Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City were reshaped with boulevards, villas, churches, and civic buildings. Cafes, bakeries, and a new urban rhythm emerged, influencing daily life in ways that persist today. French rule also introduced new infrastructure, railways, bridges, and ports, alongside Western education systems. The adoption of Chu Quoc Ngu, the Latin-based Vietnamese script, transformed literacy and communication, making written Vietnamese more accessible and helping to unify language across regions. Foreign influence was not limited to Europe. Religious missions brought Christianity, while regional interactions continued to shape cuisine, craft, and commerce. Vietnamese food, for example, absorbed techniques and ingredients from abroad, reworking them into something distinctly local. Yet influence did not mean submission. External ideas were constantly reinterpreted through Vietnamese values of balance, community, and continuity. What remained was not imitation, but adaptation, a pattern repeated throughout history. Vietnam's landscape of colonial buildings, mixed cuisines, and layered traditions tells a story of engagement rather than loss. These influences form part of the country's complexity, enriching its identity while strengthening its determination to remain itself. Handicrafts and traditions. Vietnam's handicrafts are expressions of patience and continuity, skills shaped by landscape, belief, and daily necessity, refined over generations rather than reinvented. To encounter these traditions is to see how creativity and practicality move together through time. Across the countryside, craft villages specialize in a single art, often practiced by nearly every household. Knowledge is passed quietly from elders to children, learned through observation and repetition. These villages are living workshops, where rhythm matters as much as result. Bamboo and rattan weaving is among the most widespread crafts. Baskets, mats, fishing traps, and furniture are made from materials gathered locally and shaped by hand. The designs are simple, durable, and perfectly suited to everyday life, reflecting a deep understanding of material and use. In northern Vietnam, folk painting traditions such as Dong Ho prints once decorated homes during festivals and celebrations. Using natural pigments and woodblock techniques, these images depict animals, village scenes, and symbols of luck and prosperity. Though less common today, the style remains an important cultural reference. Silk weaving holds both economic and artistic value. In traditional workshops, threads are dyed, stretched, and woven into fabric that flows lightly in the tropical climate. Silk garments, scarves, and ceremonial clothing connect elegance with labor, each piece carrying the mark of human touch. Vietnam is also known for lacquerware, a craft that requires exceptional patience. Layers of natural resin are applied, dried, polished, and reworked over weeks or months. The final pieces, bowls, trays, paintings, and decorative objects, appear smooth and luminous, hiding the long process beneath their surface. Tradition is not frozen in time. Contemporary artisans reinterpret old techniques, blending heritage with modern design. New forms emerge, but the core values remain: balance, respect for materials, and quiet excellence. Beyond objects, traditions live in gestures and rituals, offering incense, sharing tea, preparing festival food, or arranging ancestral altars. These practices are acts of cultural craftsmanship, repeated daily and adapted naturally as life changes. Vietnam's handicrafts remind us that tradition is not about preservation alone. It is about use, relevance, and care, skills kept alive because they continue to matter. Architecture through the ages. Vietnam's architecture tells a story of continuity and adaptation. Buildings shaped by climate, belief, and history, evolving gently rather than through sudden breaks. From timber pagodas to colonial boulevards and modern skylines, each era has added a layer without fully erasing what came before. Early Vietnamese architecture was closely tied to nature and spirituality. Traditional homes and communal buildings used wood, clay, and thatch, designed to breathe in humid climates and withstand seasonal rains. Elevated floors, open courtyards, and curved roofs reflected an understanding of airflow, shade, and balance. Temples and pagodas followed similar principles, blending seamlessly into their surroundings rather than dominating them. Religious structures reveal the deepest symbolism. Pagodas rise with layered roofs and gentle curves, their proportions guided by harmony rather than height. Spaces were designed for quiet reflection, courtyards, ponds, and shaded walkways encouraging stillness. This architectural restraint mirrors Vietnamese spiritual values of balance and humility. Imperial architecture reached its most formal expression in Imperial City of Hue. Here, citadels, gates, and palaces were arranged according to cosmic order and Confucian hierarchy. Moats, walls, and axial layouts symbolized power and protection, while decorative details expressed authority tempered by tradition. In coastal trading towns like Hội An, architecture reflects cultural exchange. Wooden shophouses combine Vietnamese layouts with Chinese, Japanese, and European influences. Narrow facades open into deep interiors, balancing commerce, family life, and airflow, a practical response to both trade and climate. The colonial era introduced new materials and urban planning. French architects reshaped cities with boulevards, villas, churches, and civic buildings, particularly in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Stone, brick, and iron replaced timber, while balconies, shutters, and high ceilings adapted European styles to tropical conditions. Today, modern Vietnam builds upward. Glass towers and contemporary developments rise alongside pagodas, colonial homes, and traditional alleys. This coexistence is striking, a skyline where centuries meet in a single glance. New architecture increasingly incorporates sustainable design, echoing older principles of climate awareness in modern form. Vietnam's built environment reflects its character, respectful of the past, responsive to change, and grounded in practicality. Architecture here is not about monumentality alone, it is about living well within place, time, and tradition. Struggles and revolutions. Vietnam's modern history is defined by endurance, a series of struggles shaped not only by conflict, but by determination, unity, and the belief that identity is worth defending. These revolutions were not sudden eruptions, but long arcs of resistance that reshaped the nation. During the late colonial period, calls for independence grew steadily. Ideas of self-rule, education, and equality spread through cities and villages alike, carried by teachers, writers, and organizers. National identity strengthened quietly, rooted in shared memory and collective hardship. The turning point came with the struggle against colonial rule, culminating in the decisive battle at Dien Bien Phu Fort in remote northern valleys. The battle symbolized a shift in global power and demonstrated how determination and strategy could overcome superior resources. Its impact resonated far beyond Vietnam's borders. What followed was a period of division and prolonged conflict that deeply marked the country. The war years brought immense suffering, loss, and displacement, touching nearly every family. The Ho Chi Minh Trail became a lifeline through jungles and mountains, sustaining resistance under extraordinary conditions. Cities and countryside alike adapted to wartime life. Underground shelters, rationing, and communal support became part of daily existence. Yet even during these years, cultural life persisted, music, poetry, and storytelling offering resilience in the face of uncertainty. The end of conflict did not bring instant peace of mind. Reunification required healing, rebuilding, and reconciliation. The scars of war remained visible in landscapes and memories, but so too did a powerful sense of survival and shared purpose. Vietnam's struggles and revolutions are remembered not as isolated events, but as part of a longer narrative of self-determination. Museums, memorials, and personal stories preserve these chapters, not to glorify war, but to honor endurance and reflect on its cost. For travelers, engaging with this history offers deeper understanding. It reveals a country shaped by hardship yet defined by resilience, a society that values peace because it knows intimately what was required to achieve it. Modern nationhood. Modern Vietnam emerged from the 20th century carrying deep scars and an equally deep resolve to rebuild. Nationhood here is not just a political status, it is a shared project shaped by memory, labor, and forward momentum. After reunification, the country faced immense challenges. Infrastructure lay damaged, resources were limited, and families carried the weight of loss. Yet reconstruction began almost immediately, driven by collective effort and a belief in self-reliance. Communities rebuilt homes, fields, and schools with what they had, laying the foundations for renewal. A defining shift came with the Doi Moi reforms of the late 1980s. These economic changes opened Vietnam to market-based growth while maintaining a strong sense of national direction. Small businesses flourished, agriculture modernized, and cities expanded. The reforms reshaped daily life, creating opportunity while preserving social cohesion. Urban centers became symbols of this transformation. Hanoi balances governance, tradition, and education, while Ho Chi Minh City pulses with entrepreneurship and global energy. Together, they reflect two complementary faces of the nation, reflective and forward-driving. Education and youth play a central role in modern identity. A young population, increasingly connected to the world, navigates global influences with confidence while retaining strong ties to family and place. Technology, startups, and creative industries sit comfortably alongside ancestral homes and village festivals. Internationally, Vietnam positions itself as open and engaged. Trade, tourism, and diplomacy link the country to global networks, yet sovereignty and independence remain core values. This balance, openness without loss of identity, defines Vietnam's modern stance. Nationhood in Vietnam is lived daily. It appears in shared meals, community projects, national holidays, and the quiet pride people hold in how far the country has come. The past is acknowledged, not forgotten. The future is approached with pragmatism rather than haste. Modern Vietnam is neither fixed nor finished. It is a nation still shaping itself, drawing strength from resilience, clarity from experience, and optimism from the belief that progress can coexist with tradition. Today's identity. Vietnam today is defined by balance between memory and momentum, tradition and innovation, community and individuality. It is a country that moves forward without cutting ties to where it came from, carrying its history lightly but consciously. In cities, life is fast and outward-looking. Young entrepreneurs build cafes, studios, and startups that feel global in ambition yet local in character. Streets buzz late into the night, phones glow, ideas travel quickly. Yet even here, daily rituals remain unchanged. Shared meals, morning coffee, respect for elders, and time set aside for family. In rural areas, identity is shaped by continuity. Farming cycles, village festivals, and ancestral homes anchor people to place. Modern technology has arrived, smartphones, online markets, new opportunities, but it coexists with traditions that still guide daily rhythm. Change here is gradual, absorbed rather than imposed. Across the country, community remains central. Individual success is celebrated, but rarely separated from family or collective well-being. Decisions are often made with others in mind, and belonging carries as much weight as ambition. Vietnamese identity is also deeply adaptive. Centuries of external pressure, conflict, and transformation have fostered a quiet flexibility, an ability to adjust without losing core values. This shows in humor, patience, and an understated confidence that does not need to announce itself loudly. Culturally, Vietnam is expressive yet restrained. Pride exists, but it is rarely boastful. Patriotism is felt strongly during national moments, sports victories, or shared challenges, yet daily life remains grounded and pragmatic. Food, language, and social habits continue to reinforce identity. Even as global influences shape fashion, music, and media, local flavors and customs remain the default, not as resistance, but as preference. Today's Vietnam is not defined by a single image. It is a mosaic, urban and rural, ancient and modern, reflective and ambitious. What unites it is a sense of direction, forward-looking, self-aware, and rooted in shared experience. To understand Vietnam today is to see a country comfortable with complexity. One that knows who it is, honors where it has been, and moves ahead with quiet confidence. Top cities, towns, and villages. Vietnam's cities and towns reveal the country in layers, each place offering a distinct rhythm, shaped by geography, history, and daily life. Traveling between them feels like moving through different chapters of the same story. The capital, Hanoi, is thoughtful and atmospheric. Tree-lined boulevards sit beside narrow lanes of the old quarter, where trade and tradition continue much as they have for centuries. Lakes, temples, and cafes create spaces for reflection, while street life hums steadily beneath the surface. Hanoi feels rooted, a city that remembers. In contrast, Ho Chi Minh City is fast, ambitious, and outward-looking. Formerly Saigon, it pulses with energy, scooters flow endlessly, cafes buzz with conversation, and modern towers rise beside colonial architecture. The city embodies Vietnam's entrepreneurial spirit and its confidence in the future. Along the central coast, Hoi An offers a gentler pace. Lantern-lit streets, wooden shophouses, and riverside cafes create a timeless atmosphere. Once a major trading port, the town now balances preservation with everyday life, making it one of Vietnam's most evocative destinations. Nearby, Da Nang represents modern Vietnam by the sea. Clean, well-planned, and relaxed, it combines beaches, riverfronts, and easy access to mountains and heritage sites. Da Nang feels practical and forward-thinking, ideal for travelers seeking balance. In the northern highlands, Sapa sits above terraced valleys and cloud-covered peaks. The town serves as a gateway to ethnic minority villages and trekking routes, offering cooler air and dramatic scenery. Life here moves to the rhythm of mountains and seasons. Smaller towns and villages across Vietnam add texture to the journey. Riverside settlements in the Mekong Delta, fishing villages along the coast, and craft communities inland. These places often leave the strongest impressions, where hospitality feels personal and life unfolds without urgency. Together, Vietnam's cities, towns, and villages reflect a country comfortable with contrast. From bustling streets to quiet hillsides, each place contributes to a broader sense of identity, diverse, connected, and deeply lived. Historic and cultural landmarks. Vietnam's landmarks are not isolated monuments, they are living witnesses, woven into daily life and collective memory. Each site tells a story of belief, resilience, artistry, and the passage of time, inviting travelers to step into history rather than simply observe it. Rising dramatically from emerald waters, Ha Long Bay is one of Vietnam's most recognizable landscapes. Thousands of limestone casts form a surreal seascape shaped over millions of years. Beyond its natural beauty, the bay holds legends of dragons, reinforcing the close link between mythology and place in Vietnamese culture. In central Vietnam, the imperial city of Hue stands as a symbol of royal authority and refined court life. Encircled by walls and moats, the citadel once housed emperors, scholars, and ceremonial rituals. Today, its palaces and gates echo with the formality and order that defined imperial Vietnam. The spiritual heart of ancient Champa civilization lies at My Sun Sanctuary. Nestled in a forested valley, these brick temple ruins honor Hindu deities and showcase remarkable craftsmanship. Though time and conflict have taken their toll, the site retains a powerful sense of reverence and mystery. In the capital, the one-pillar pagoda offers a quieter, symbolic landmark. Built to resemble a lotus rising from water, the pagoda reflects Buddhist ideals of purity and balance. Small in scale but rich in meaning, it highlights how symbolism often outweighs size in Vietnamese architecture. More recent history is explored at places like the Cu Kai tunnels, an underground network used during wartime. Walking through these narrow passages offers insight into the ingenuity and endurance that shaped modern Vietnam, turning landscape itself into a tool of survival. Across the country, temples, pagodas, communal houses, and memorials continue to serve active roles in daily life. Incense burns, prayers are offered, and festivals unfold. History here is not distant, but present. Vietnam's landmarks do not ask to be rushed. They reward time, attention, and curiosity, revealing a nation that honors its past while allowing it to breathe within the present. Beaches and coastline. Vietnam's coastline stretches for more than 3,000 kilometers, unfolding in a rhythm of bays, fishing villages, islands, and long sandy curves where daily life meets the sea. Here, the coast is not just a destination, it is a way of living shaped by tides, weather, and tradition. In the south, Phu Quoc feels calm and spacious, where palm-lined beaches meet clear, shallow waters. Life moves slowly here. Fishing boats drift in at dawn, markets wake early, and sunsets bring people quietly together along the shore. The island's appeal lies in simplicity, sea, light, and time. Further north, Nha Trang presents a livelier seaside atmosphere. Its wide bay curves gently around the city, combining beach culture with urban energy. Cafes, promenades, and island hopping trips make it a natural hub for travelers drawn to warm water and open horizons. Along the central coast, smaller stretches reveal Vietnam at its most atmospheric. Near Mui, fishing villages sit beside sweeping beaches backed by sculpted sand dunes. Early mornings bring color and movement as boats return with the night's catch, while afternoons settle into quiet heat and wind. Off the southern coast, the Con Dao Islands feel remote and reflective. Once isolated and difficult to reach, they now offer unspoiled beaches and protected marine life. The mood here is subdued, waves, forested hills, and a sense of distance from the mainland. The central shoreline around Da Nang blends modern ease with natural beauty. Long, clean beaches stretch between river mouths and mountains, making the coast feel open and balanced, a place where sea and city coexist without friction. Throughout Vietnam, the coast remains closely tied to livelihood. Fishing, salt harvesting, and boat building continue alongside tourism. This connection keeps the shoreline grounded. Beaches are places to work, gather, and reflect, not just to escape. Vietnam's coastline does not demand spectacle. Its beauty lies in rhythm, waves repeating, nets drying, meals shared by the sea. For travelers, these shores offer more than scenery, they offer perspective. Hidden gems. Beyond Vietnam's famous sights lies a quieter country, places where landscapes feel untouched, communities remain close-knit, and travel slows to a gentler pace. These hidden gems reveal Vietnam at its most intimate, rewarding curiosity with authenticity rather than spectacle. Tucked into the northern mountains, Pu Long Nature Reserve offers rolling rice terraces, bamboo forests, and stilt villages scattered across valleys. Life here follows agricultural rhythms, and mornings arrive wrapped in mist. Walking through Pu Long feels less like sightseeing and more like being briefly absorbed into rural life. In central Vietnam, the villages surrounding Phong Nha sit quietly along slow-moving rivers. While nearby caves draw international attention, the village itself remains understated. Bicycles on dirt roads, children swimming at dusk, and limestone hills rising softly behind farmland. Off the central coast, Lai Sun Island feels worlds away from the mainland. Formed by ancient volcanic activity, the island's cliffs, garlic fields, and clear waters create a stark, elemental beauty. Few visitors stay long, but those who do find a raw connection to land and sea. In the Mekong Delta, Ben Tre offers a quieter alternative to busier river towns. Coconut groves, narrow canals, and shaded villages define the landscape. Travel here happens by small boat and bicycle, moving slowly through daily routines rather than tourist routes. Further north, Bab Lake rests within dense forest and limestone peaks. The lake's still waters reflect surrounding mountains, and minority villages along the shore welcome visitors into homes where hospitality feels natural rather than staged. Vietnam's hidden gems are not hidden because they lack beauty, they are hidden because they remain lived in. These places resist rush and reward patience, offering moments of quiet connection that linger long after the journey ends. For travelers willing to step off the obvious path, Vietnam reveals itself in full, not louder or brighter, but deeper. Adventure and activities. Vietnam invites adventure not through extremes, but through variety. Its landscapes shift quickly, from mountains to coast, jungle to river, offering experiences that feel immersive rather than manufactured. Adventure here is as much about movement and discovery as it is about adrenaline. In the northern Highlands, trekking routes wind through terraced valleys and ethnic minority villages. Around Sapa and deeper into the Hoang Lien Mountains, footpaths climb gently between rice fields, forests, and ridgelines. Walks range from half-day village trails to multi-day hikes, often guided by locals who know the land intimately. Beneath central Vietnam lies an entirely different world. The caves of Phong Nha Cu Bang National Park form one of the planet's most spectacular underground systems. Visitors can float into river caves, scramble through vast chambers, or take guided adventure routes involving climbing, swimming, and caving by headlamp, an experience that feels exploratory in the truest sense. For many travelers, adventure means two wheels. Riding a motorbike across Vietnam offers unmatched freedom, particularly along mountain routes like the northern passes or the legendary coastal roads. The journey is rarely about speed, it's about stopping for coffee, viewpoints, and conversations that unfold naturally along the way. On the water, Vietnam's coast and rivers open up a different pace of adventure. Kayaking among the limestone islands of Ha Long Bay reveals hidden lagoons and quiet corners unreachable by boat. Further south, Rivers in the Mekong Delta offer gentle paddling through palms and villages where daily life drifts by at eye level. Wind and waves bring energy to the shoreline. Places like Muine are known for kite surfing and wind-based sports, while calmer beaches invite swimming, snorkeling, and paddleboarding. Even here, adventure blends easily with rest. Vietnam's adventures rarely demand bravado. They reward curiosity, patience, and openness, whether stepping into a cave, crossing a mountain pass, or sharing tea after a long walk. The country offers not just things to do, but ways to feel present within its landscapes. Cultural experiences. Vietnam's culture is not staged, it is lived. To experience it fully is to slow down and step into everyday moments where tradition, hospitality, and ritual unfold naturally. Culture here is shared through food, conversation, and quiet gestures rather than formal performances alone. One of the most immediate cultural experiences is street food. Sitting on a low plastic stool, sharing a bowl of noodles or a freshly grilled snack places you directly into daily life. Meals are social and unhurried, even in busy cities. Food becomes conversation, connection, and comfort, bridging generations and backgrounds. Festivals offer another window into cultural rhythm. In towns like Hội An, lanterns glow across streets and rivers during celebrations, transforming the town into a shared space of color and reflection. These events are less about spectacle and more about participation. Families walking together, children playing, elders watching quietly. In homes across the country, the family meal remains central. Dishes are placed in the middle of the table and shared by all. Eating together reinforces respect, patience, and belonging. Guests are welcomed warmly, often urged to eat more than they thought possible, a sign of generosity rather than excess. Traditional performing arts continue to thrive in subtle ways. Water puppetry, developed in flooded rice fields, tells folk stories using carved wooden figures dancing across water. Performances feel playful yet symbolic, preserving storytelling traditions that once traveled village to village. Spiritual life shapes cultural experience just as strongly. Incense offerings, temple visits, and ancestral remembrance occur quietly throughout the year. In craft villages and towns, incense making remains both a livelihood and a ritual, filling the air with scent tied to memory and devotion. Markets are cultural spaces too, not just places of trade, but of exchange. Conversations unfold easily, jokes are shared, and familiarity matters. Even brief interactions reveal a culture grounded in approachability and respect. Vietnam's cultural experiences do not demand explanation. They invite observation and presence. By listening more than speaking, joining rather than directing, travelers find themselves gently welcomed into a way of life that values connection over display. Bucket list highlights. Vietnam's bucket list moments are not just sights to tick off, they are experiences that linger, shaped by atmosphere, movement, and human connection. These highlights capture the country's essence in ways that feel personal as much as iconic. Sailing through Ha Long Bay at dawn is one of Vietnam's most unforgettable experiences. Limestone pillars rise from misty water as the light shifts slowly across the bay. Whether on a traditional junk boat or a quiet kayak, the sense of scale and calm feels almost unreal. Getting lost in the lanes of Ha Noi Old Quarter offers a different kind of magic. Streets specialize in single trades, scooters weave endlessly, and life spills onto the pavement. Sitting with a coffee and watching the rhythm unfold is a bucket list moment in its own right. In central Vietnam, an evening in Hoi An feels like stepping into a dream. Lanterns glow above the river, boats drift past in silence, and the old town becomes a shared celebration of light, history, and calm. For adventure seekers, venturing underground in Phong Nha Cu Bang National Park is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Exploring vast caves, underground rivers, and cathedral-sized chambers reveals a hidden Vietnam few ever see. Traveling south, the waterways of the Mekong Delta offer a completely different perspective. Floating markets at sunrise, narrow canals lined with palms, and villages accessible only by boat show how water shapes daily life. A motorbike journey, whether across a mountain pass or along the coast, often becomes the most personal highlight of all. The freedom to stop anywhere, share a roadside meal, and watch landscapes change mile by mile captures Vietnam's spirit of openness. Vietnam's bucket list is not about rushing between landmarks. It's about choosing moments that invite you to pause, absorb, and feel part of the journey. Experiences that stay vivid long after the trip ends. Money and currency. Money in Vietnam is woven quietly into daily life, practical, flexible, and refreshingly straightforward once you find your rhythm. Transactions happen everywhere, in busy markets, roadside cafes, family-run shops, and modern malls, often side by side. The national currency is the Vietnamese dong, VND, known for its large numbers. Notes come in high denominations, and it's common to carry bundles of cash. At first, the zeros can feel overwhelming, but travelers quickly adjust. Prices become intuitive, and counting turns into second nature. Cash remains king, especially outside major cities. Street food vendors, local buses, small guest houses, and rural shops almost always expect cash. In cities, however, cards and digital payments are increasingly common. Cafes, hotels, supermarkets, and transport apps often accept debit and credit cards, while QR code mobile payments are widely used by locals. ATMs are easy to find in towns and cities, and most accept international cards. Daily withdrawal limits vary, so multiple withdrawals may be needed for larger expenses. Exchange offices and banks offer competitive rates, particularly in urban areas and tourist hubs. Bargaining plays a role in some settings. In markets and with informal vendors, prices are often flexible, while shops, restaurants, and transport services usually have fixed pricing. Friendly negotiation is part of the experience, but it's done with humor and respect rather than pressure. Tipping is not expected in everyday situations, though it is appreciated for guides, drivers, and good service in tourist settings. Small gestures, rounding up a bill or leaving loose change, are more common than formal tipping. Traveling with money in Vietnam encourages mindfulness rather than anxiety. A mix of cash and cards works best, and keeping smaller notes on hand makes daily transactions smoother. Once you settle into the flow, money becomes just another part of the journey, simple, human, and unpretentious. Transport and getting around. Getting around Vietnam is part of the adventure. Movement here is dynamic, informal, and surprisingly efficient once you understand the flow. Transport isn't just a way to reach destinations, it's a window into daily life. In cities, motorbikes dominate the streets. They weave, pause, and surge forward in an organized chaos that quickly becomes familiar. For visitors, Ride-hailing apps make motorbike taxis an easy and affordable option, offering a front-row seat to urban life without the need to navigate traffic yourself. Buses form the backbone of long-distance travel. Sleeper buses connect cities overnight, with reclining seats designed for extended journeys. While comfort varies, they are budget-friendly and reach almost every corner of the country. For shorter trips, local buses are inexpensive and widely used, though routes can feel opaque without local knowledge. Vietnam's railway runs north to south, linking major cities along the coast. Trains are slower than flying but offer a more relaxed pace, scenic views, and a chance to experience the country unfolding mile by mile. Overnight trains are popular, combining transport and accommodation in one journey. For covering long distances quickly, domestic flights are plentiful and affordable. Major cities and tourist hubs are well connected, making flying a practical option when time is limited. Airports are modern and efficient, particularly in larger cities. Water transport remains vital in certain regions. In the Mekong Delta, boats are everyday transport, gliding through canals and rivers that roads cannot reach. Coastal ferries connect islands and remote communities, adding variety to travel routes. Renting a motorbike or scooter is common in towns and rural areas, especially for short explorations. While it offers freedom, it requires confidence and caution. Traffic rules exist, but local driving culture relies heavily on awareness and adaptability. Despite its apparent complexity, Vietnam's transport system works through shared understanding rather than strict order. With patience and flexibility, travelers find it easy to move, and often discover that the journey itself becomes a highlight. Visas and entry requirements. Entering Vietnam is generally straightforward, with options designed to suit short visits, longer stays, and return travelers. Requirements can vary by nationality, so checking details before departure is always wise, but the overall process is user-friendly. Many travelers are eligible for visa-free entry for short stays, typically ranging from 2 weeks to several weeks, depending on passport. This option is ideal for quick trips and requires little preparation beyond a valid passport and onward travel plans. For longer visits, the e-visa is the most common choice. Applied for online, it allows entry through major airports, land borders, and seaports. Approval usually takes a few days, and travelers receive a digital document to present on arrival. The e-visa is popular for its simplicity and flexibility. Your passport should be valid for at least 6 months beyond your arrival date, with at least 1 or 2 blank pages for entry stamps. Immigration officers may ask for proof of onward travel or accommodation, though checks are usually brief. On arrival, the process is efficient. Immigration desks are clearly marked, and airport staff are accustomed to international visitors. Once stamped in, travelers are free to move around the country without internal border checks. Extensions and longer stays may be possible, but rules can change. Those planning extended travel, work, or study should research specific visa categories in advance. Vietnam takes entry formalities seriously but handles them calmly. Clear documentation, patience, and a prepared approach ensure a smooth start to the journey. Safety and health. Vietnam is widely considered a safe and welcoming destination, with everyday life unfolding calmly and predictably for most travelers. Like anywhere, awareness and common sense go a long way, but serious issues are rare, and visitors are generally met with helpfulness rather than hostility. Personal safety is good across the country. Violent crime against travelers is uncommon, and most visits pass without incident. In busy cities, petty theft such as pickpocketing can occur, particularly in crowded areas or on public transport, but simple precautions, keeping valuables secure and staying aware, are usually enough. Traffic presents the most noticeable risk. Roads can feel chaotic, especially in urban areas where motorbikes dominate. Crossing streets requires confidence and calm rather than hesitation. Wearing helmets on motorbikes is essential, and reputable taxis or ride-hailing services are the safest way to get around if you're unsure. Healthcare in major cities is modern and reliable. Pharmacies are widespread and well-stocked, and many medications are available without prescription. For minor issues, pharmacists often provide quick advice. In more serious cases, international standard hospitals and clinics are available in larger cities. Food safety is generally good, especially when eating freshly prepared meals. Street food is a highlight of Vietnamese culture, and busy stalls are usually the safest choice. Drinking bottled or filtered water is recommended, and ice is best avoided unless you're confident in its source. Mosquito protection is important, particularly in warmer regions and rural areas. Using repellent, wearing light long sleeves in the evening, and staying in accommodation with screens or air conditioning helps reduce risk. Travel insurance is strongly advised, covering medical care, transport, and activities such as trekking or motorbike travel. Having insurance provides peace of mind and access to the best facilities if needed. Vietnam's approach to safety and health is practical rather than restrictive. With basic precautions and respect for local conditions, travelers can explore confidently and focus on enjoying the journey. Communication. Communication in Vietnam is intuitive, friendly, and often wonderfully creative. Even when words fall short, smiles, gestures, and patience carry conversations forward with ease. Vietnamese is the national language and is spoken everywhere, with regional accents that add color and character. In major cities and tourist areas, many people working in hospitality, transport, and retail speak basic English. Outside these areas, English may be limited, but willingness to help is rarely lacking. Travelers quickly learn that non-verbal communication matters. Pointing gently, nodding, smiling, and using simple phrases go a long way. Raising your voice or showing frustration is generally avoided. Calmness and politeness keep interactions smooth and respectful. Staying connected is easy. Local SIM cards are inexpensive and widely available at airports, convenience stores, and mobile shops. Data coverage is excellent across most of the country, including rural areas, making maps, translation apps, and ride-hailing services reliable companions. Free Wi-Fi is common in cafes, hotels, restaurants, and even small guest houses. It's normal to sit for hours with a drink, working or chatting online, especially in cities where cafe culture is strong. Translation apps are especially useful and widely accepted. Showing text on your phone is a common and effective way to communicate requests, directions, or dietary needs. Locals are accustomed to this and often respond with warmth and humor. Phone calls and messaging apps are widely used, with platforms like messaging services preferred over traditional calls. Accommodation providers and tour operators often communicate via messaging rather than email. Communication in Vietnam is less about fluency and more about effort. A few basic Vietnamese words, combined with openness and patience, often lead to meaningful exchanges and sometimes unexpected friendships.
Local laws and customs. Understanding local laws and customs in Vietnam helps travelers move with confidence and respect. Most rules are straightforward, and everyday etiquette focuses less on strict enforcement and more on maintaining harmony. Respect for authority and national symbols is taken seriously. The national flag, monuments, and historical sites should be treated with care. Political discussions are best approached cautiously, especially with strangers, as public criticism can be sensitive. In daily life, politeness and restraint matter. Public displays of anger, confrontation, or raised voices are generally frowned upon. Calm discussion and patience are valued, and issues are often resolved indirectly to preserve dignity for everyone involved. Dress codes are relaxed in most places, but modest clothing is expected in temples, pagodas, and religious sites. Shoulders and knees should be covered, and shoes removed where indicated. These customs are observed quietly and without instruction. Following others' lead usually suffices. Traffic laws exist, though driving culture relies more on awareness than strict right-of-way. Helmets are legally required for motorbike riders and passengers. Police checkpoints are common. Carrying identification and remaining polite ensures smooth interactions. Smoking is restricted in many indoor public spaces, and signage should be followed. Drug laws are strict, with severe penalties, and should not be taken lightly under any circumstances. Photography is generally welcomed, but it's courteous to ask before photographing people, especially in rural areas or religious settings. Some museums and government buildings prohibit photography altogether. Social customs emphasize respect for elders and shared space. When giving or receiving items, using both hands is seen as polite. Pointing feet at people or sacred objects is avoided, as feet are considered the lowest part of the body. Vietnam's laws and customs aim to keep social life calm and respectful rather than restrictive. Travelers who observe quietly, act politely, and remain adaptable will find interactions easy and welcoming. Time, power, and connectivity. Time in Vietnam moves at a steady, unhurried pace. Schedules exist, but flexibility is built into daily life. Things happen when they are ready rather than strictly on the clock, a mindset travelers quickly learn to appreciate. Vietnam operates on Indochinese time, ICT, which is UTC+7, with no daylight saving changes throughout the year. This consistency makes planning easy, especially for longer stays or remote work. Electricity is reliable across most of the country, particularly in cities and tourist areas. Power cuts are rare and usually brief when they occur. Electrical outlets typically use Type A, C, and F plugs, meaning many European and US devices work without adapters, though carrying a universal adapter is recommended. The standard voltage is 220V of 50 Hz, suitable for most modern electronics. Travelers using high-powered devices or older equipment should check compatibility to avoid damage. Connectivity is one of Vietnam's quiet strengths. Mobile data is fast, affordable, and widely available, even in rural areas. Local SIM cards provide generous data allowances at low cost, making navigation, messaging, and online bookings effortless. Wi-Fi is everywhere. Cafes, hotels, hostels, and even roadside eateries often offer free connections. Vietnam's strong cafe culture makes it especially appealing for remote workers, writers, and travelers who like to stay connected while on the move. Charging phones and devices is rarely an issue. Power points are common in accommodation and cafes, and portable power banks are widely sold. Digital payments, maps, translation apps, and ride-hailing services all rely on this strong connectivity and work smoothly across the country. Vietnam's relationship with time and technology reflects its broader identity, grounded yet forward-looking. The country embraces modern connectivity without letting it rush life, creating an environment where being connected never feels intrusive. Accommodation options. Accommodation in Vietnam is varied, affordable, and often more memorable than expected. Whether staying for a night or a month, travelers can find places that feel personal, comfortable, and deeply connected to local life. Guest houses and family-run hotels are common throughout the country. These small properties often offer simple rooms, warm hospitality, and valuable local knowledge. Staying in one feels less transactional and more like being welcomed into a neighborhood, especially in towns and rural areas. In villages and scenic regions, homestays provide one of the most authentic experiences. Guests sleep in traditional houses, share meals with host families, and gain insight into daily routines. Homestays are especially popular in mountain regions and the countryside, where community life remains strong. Cities offer a wide range of boutique hotels, combining comfort with character. These properties often feature thoughtful design, cafes, and rooftop spaces, blending Vietnamese aesthetics with modern convenience. They are ideal for travelers seeking atmosphere without formality. For budget-conscious travelers, hostels are plentiful and well-maintained. Many offer private rooms alongside dorms, social common areas, and organized activities. Hostels in Vietnam often attract long-term travelers and digital nomads, creating a relaxed and social environment. Along the coast and on islands, beach resorts provide a slower pace. Ranging from simple bungalows to luxury retreats, these properties focus on scenery, relaxation, and open space. Even high-end resorts remain competitively priced compared to similar destinations elsewhere. Eco-lodges and nature retreats are growing in popularity. Set among forests, rivers, or rice fields, they emphasize sustainability and connection to place. These stays are ideal for travelers seeking quiet, nature, and reflection. Booking accommodation in Vietnam is straightforward, with plenty of availability year-round. Flexibility is often rewarded. Extending stays or finding last-minute options is usually easy. Wherever you stay, accommodation in Vietnam often becomes part of the journey itself. Conversations over breakfast, shared recommendations, and moments of unexpected kindness turn places to sleep into places to remember. Food and water safety. Eating in Vietnam is one of travel's great pleasures, vibrant, affordable, and deeply rooted in daily life. With a few simple habits, travelers can enjoy the country's cuisine confidently and comfortably. Street food is a highlight and generally safe when chosen wisely. Busy stalls with a high turnover are your best indicator. Fresh ingredients, quick cooking, and constant demand keep food moving. Watching dishes prepared in front of you adds reassurance, and hot, freshly cooked meals are the safest option. Fresh herbs and vegetables are central to Vietnamese cuisine. While locals eat them daily, travelers may prefer them washed in filtered water or enjoyed in reputable restaurants. In cities and tourist areas, hygiene standards are typically good, and many kitchens cater confidently to international visitors. Water safety is straightforward. Drink bottled or filtered water rather than tap water. Bottled water is inexpensive and widely available, and many hotels and cafes provide refill stations. When in doubt, use bottled water for brushing teeth as well. Ice is commonly used in drinks. In larger cities and established venues, ice is usually produced commercially with purified water and is safe. In smaller or rural settings, it's reasonable to skip ice if you're unsure of its source. Vietnamese coffee culture is strong, and hot drinks are generally safe. Iced coffee is widely enjoyed. Again, choosing busy cafes reduces risk. Fresh fruit juices and smoothies are best consumed where fruit is peeled and blended to order. Food allergies and dietary needs can be accommodated, especially in urban areas. Using translation apps or carrying written explanations helps ensure clarity. Staff are often eager to assist once they understand your needs. Carry basic medication for stomach upsets just in case, but most travelers experience few issues beyond mild adjustment. Staying hydrated, eating regularly, and avoiding overindulgence in the heat all help maintain balance. Vietnam's food culture is built on freshness and daily preparation. With awareness rather than anxiety, meals become one of the most rewarding parts of the journey, a shared experience that connects people across tables, streets, and stories. Useful apps and resources. These digital tools make exploring Vietnam easier, smoother, and more enjoyable, helping you navigate streets, manage money, book stays, and stay connected. Navigation and maps. Google Maps, reliable for walking, driving, and public transport directions. Download offline maps before you travel for areas with limited signal. Maps.me, great offline alternative with downloadable maps and route guidance. Transport and ride-hailing. Grab, the most widely used ride-hailing app in Vietnam, covering motorbike taxis, cars, and deliveries. Gojek, another popular option for affordable motorbike rides and food delivery. Local bus apps and transit info, street signs and local guidance remain helpful, but local transit apps can assist with schedules in major cities. Accommodation and activities. Booking.com, extensive hotel, guest house, and homestay listings with traveler reviews. Airbnb, useful for apartments, unique stays, and long-term options. Hostelworld, perfect for budget travelers seeking hostels and social stays. Money and payments. XE Currency, fast currency conversion and rate tracking between Vietnamese dong and your home currency. Mobile wallets and QR payments, apps like Mocha, GrabPay, ZaloPay, and VNPay QR are widely used locally for cashless transactions, especially useful if you're staying longer and using local services. Communication and connectivity. WhatsApp, the go-to messaging app for communicating with guides, hosts, and fellow travelers. Google Translate, indispensable for navigating language differences. Download the Vietnamese language pack for offline use. Duolingo and Memrise, if you're keen to learn basic Vietnamese phrases before or during your trip. Travel and local info. TripAdvisor, reviews and suggestions for food, tours, and attractions. Rome to Rio, helpful for planning transport routes between cities and regions. Hospital Pharmacy Finder, use Google Maps or local health network apps to identify nearby clinics and pharmacies if needed. Document backup and storage. Dropbox Google Drive, store copies of your passport, visa, insurance, and important reservations so you can access them from any device. As the mist settles over the limestone pillars of Ha Long Bay, and the golden glow of lanterns begins to reflect in the quiet waters of Hội An, our journey through Vietnam comes to its close. We have traveled from the terraced mountains of the north to the fertile rhythm of the Mekong Delta, tracing a story of resilience, beauty, and enduring spirit. The emerald forests and the quiet strength of this land are now yours to carry into your dreams. If this chronicle brought you peace tonight, please like this video and subscribe to Apex Atlas. Your support helps us continue to map the world's most beautiful stories. But for now, the mountains are silent. The river is still. Let the scent of the rain and the warmth of the night lead you into a deep, effortless rest. Thank you for wandering with us. Sleep well. Good night.